Hey guys! Alright, we are doing a Facebook Live training tonight. We've got a room full of people and I wish you could see everybody, but all you get to see is me tonight. So we are going to get started, and the first thing that you need to know for doing Facebook Live events is I recommend that you download a free app, which I mentioned on the Facebook Live, or rather on the National Facebook page before. There is a free app called the Events app. It is a red app with a white star in the middle, and it's free. But if you start doing a lot of events, that will keep all of your events on one page so that you don't have to get into Facebook, go into my events, and then find that event, or go into past events, or go into current events, or whatever. They're all just in date order. So that's a great app that I recommend getting. One note on that app: do not go into Facebook Live to do your live event from that app. Make sure you always go into Facebook Live from Facebook, not from the app, okay? So, before I started doing Facebook Live events, I purchased 3 things, and I will post the link to how you buy the 3 things on Amazon. But I purchased a tripod, a lapel mic, and a photographer's light. I'm not using the light tonight, and so the lighting is not great. But if I had used it with a room full of people, they wouldn't be able to see me tonight. So anyway, but for doing your Facebook Live events, that lighting is going to be crucial, because your people are not going to be able to see the jewelry very well if you don't have good quality lighting. And most of your events are going to be on a weeknight. It's going to be dark. So you've got to have good quality lighting, or they cannot see the jewelry that you're showing. But I purchased all 3 events on Amazon for about $50, all 3 pieces. The tripod is adjustable for any phone, so it doesn't matter what kind of cell phone you have, it's going to work for it. All right? So I will put a link. I will tell you that I started this calendar year with 6 shows on my calendar. 6 home shows on my calendar. Wasn't real excited about that. And I found out that before National Rally, one of the perks of being a senior leader sometimes is we get the scoop a little bit early. And I did find out Bob Bolander's announcement that they were going to be doing the flexibility announcement, saying that we could do shows any way we wanted to do them, whether that was through Facebook or Skype or whatever we chose. Just do them, right? If you were at Regional Rally, you heard that announcement. And so when I heard that Facebook Live announcement, I just got really excited for some reason. And I was already on Facebook all the time. My family used to tease me about it, and I thought, why not make money being on Facebook all the time, right? So now they don't tease me anymore. Now they are like, well, look who had the last laugh, right? So I will tell you that I now have 41 shows on my calendar. That is from January to March. Where are we? March 6th? March 7th? What's today? 7th? 8th? 7th? Don't confuse me. I already don't know what day it is ever. March 7th. So from January to March 7th, I went from 6 to 41, which is pretty good. I've done this almost 21 years, but that's a big jump. That's a big jump. The majority of those are Facebook Live events. There are some home shows mixed in, but the majority of those are Facebook Live events. I have held 14 Facebook Live shows, if I count one I did for somebody in my downline who I will let remain unnamed on video. So I'm not going to include her show in my average because her show hasn't even closed yet. Oh, actually, I've held 15, including hers, because I did one last night that is not in my totals, that has not closed either. So I've held 13 that have closed. And of those 13 shows, my Facebook Live average is $357. In that same time frame, from January to March, I've held a whopping 3 home shows, which I was busy doing 15 Facebook Live shows, so in my defense. But my average home show in that time was $480 something, not a whole lot higher. Facebook Live shows takes about 30 minutes. How long are you gone for a home show? A lot longer. Yeah. I whispered, a lot longer. Okay. My bookings, this is where it gets really exciting. My bookings on the Facebook Live shows, I've gotten 28 bookings from those Facebook Live shows in 8 states versus 4 bookings from those 3 home shows, of course, all in Texas, because I can't travel to 8 states to do home shows. Where I'm really excited about the Facebook Live events is the exposure. 8 states. The potential for sponsoring, I'm willing to travel. I've done shows in Michigan, in Washington, in Oregon, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, all over the place. I would love to start sponsoring in those states. I don't know about you, but I would love to sponsor in those states. So I am super excited about the potential that lies with sponsoring in those areas. So anyway, that's why I'm excited, and those are my figures. So how I started, and I posted this a ways back on the national page, but I'm just going to read it to you, and you can refer back to it, or I'll post it again if you'd like me to. I went through my friends and family and just people I knew and sent them instant messages on Facebook, and some people I texted this verbiage to, and I said something like this: "Hey lady," or "Hey girl," or depending who they were, "Hey girly," depended who it was. Wondering if you would be interested in a Facebook Live jewelry party online. You got to spell it out that it's a Facebook Live jewelry party online. Super easy. I set up an event 1 week before. You invite guests and I do the rest. The night of the event, I come on live for 20 minutes showing current jewelry with a link to shop. They either place orders or they don't. Nothing to lose. What do you think? I started posting that, and I had amazing results. People were telling me, sure, why not? Because really, what do they have to lose? They don't have to clean their house. They don't have to fix any food. They don't have to do anything but plug in a few guests, and I do the rest. And I've already told them either they order or they don't. Take a chance. What does it cost me? 30 minutes of my time to do a video, right? That's it. So that's how I got it started. Got dates on my calendar, and that's how I got started. So as soon as I got a Facebook Live event set in my calendar, and depending where we are along the process, if I'm not already Facebook friends with her, if this is somebody I texted, or depending where you are in the process, if it booked from a Facebook Live show, so we're down the road on the process, first step is I send her a friend request. I want to be friends with her on Facebook. All right, and then I have a calendar system that I set up. And there are 3 types of dates that I put in my calendar system. Now, I made up a special calendar just for Facebook Live events because I have 15 Facebook Live events in March. That's a lot. And I have 4 home shows in March. Y'all, I've never been this busy in almost 21 years of working Premiere. So if you think you run out of shows or you run out of business, you don't. And especially with new ways of doing it, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I just hired an assistant one day a week because things were so busy I can't even keep up with it. So that's a great problem. So anyway, I'm going to show you my calendar system. This worked for me. I'm not telling you you have to do this. In fact, this entire Facebook Live system I created works for me. I'm giving you a guideline to what I have found works. I have seen so many trainings online on Facebook Live, and everybody does it a little bit differently. So you're going to be able to take what I show you and either use it, tweak it, maybe you like somebody else's system better, but anyway, hopefully it'll give you a guideline. So there are 3 kinds of things, 3 kinds of dates that you use. You set up the show, you post to the show, which are things that you're hoping get interaction, all right? And then you close the show. Those are the 3 types of things, 3 dates that you need, 3 types of dates that you need. So this is my color-coded calendar system. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can see that on the camera, and hopefully y'all can see that. So the only shows that I put on my calendar system are Facebook Live shows. I don't put home shows on this calendar or anything. Well, I did put Vegas because I'm really excited about Vegas. But and that's in like 1 more week, so yay. But anyway, I just put my Facebook Live events. And so for me to set up an event, that's in orange. All right, so I know each day if I see an orange highlight, that means I need to set up an event. The highlighted yellow just means post to a show, post to a show, post to a show. All right, that's every day because I set it up 1 week before the event, exactly 1 week before. So for example, today, which is right here, I set up Annette. Her show is next Tuesday night. So her show was set up today. So you can see starting tomorrow, it's post every day to Annette, and that's highlighted in yellow. And then on the Friday after her show is close Annette, and that's in blue. Doesn't really matter. That works, you know, I just came up with 4 colors, or 3 colors rather. And then pink is the actual show, so 4 colors. All right, so I used 4 colors, pink for the show, orange to set up, yellow to post, and blue to close. So those are the 3 types of dates, and I did use a separate calendar system strictly for Facebook Live shows. One thing on closing dates, make sure you don't close your Facebook shows before a payday. So if you have a show on a Monday or a Tuesday, don't close it before Friday because that will really affect a Facebook event. People wait to get paid. So most people get paid on a Friday, so don't close until Friday. Now, if you have the show on Thursday or Friday, you can close it on Sunday or Monday. That's fine because they just got paid. All right? So just make sure you're aware of paydays in the group, and don't close it before a payday, or you'll miss out on some sales because you closed before a payday. All right, so the first thing you did was send her a friend request. The second thing you did was add her to your calendar, and then you're going to mail her a hostess packet. She needs a hostess packet. She needs catalogs to work on pre-sales. And with that, she needs the letter that you guys have, and for you guys watching the video, I will post, and that is the packet letter that says, "I'm so excited about your Facebook Live event." And I printed on bright pink paper, and it tells them when I will set up the show, when we are holding the show, and when we are closing the show. So it really tells them those 3 dates like we just went over, those 3 main dates. And it also encourages her to start working on pre-sales. Because when I touch base with her next, I am going to make sure she's received the packet and that she starts working on pre-sales. Most of my hostesses, Facebook Live hostesses, are getting their pre-sales. It's crazy. Most of my home show hostesses were not. My Facebook Live hostesses are more motivated. I cannot tell you why. I have no explanation for it. I think because it's all faceless. You know, it's just easy. So follow up in a few days to a week later and make sure she got the packet. Make sure you stress 2 things. Pre-sales, make sure she read, she can't really miss the letter. I don't put it inside the hostess packet to get really nitty gritty. I put it on top of the hostess packet in the envelope. All right, does that make sense? So in the legal size flat rate envelope. If you use the legal size, you don't have to fold your packet. If you use the letter size flat rate envelope, you have to fold your hostess packet. And it's like 30 cents difference in postage, but it just looks way more professional if it comes unfolded versus folded. So legal size flat rate envelope, and it doesn't matter how many catalogs you put in there, but I mail them 2, one for themselves and one to work on pre-sales, unless she asks for more. Sometimes they will, because if they have a big network, they'll ask for more. The second thing is, make sure you talk to her about commenting on everything you post. And by the way, I'm doing this talking to her quote through Facebook Messenger. Most of these people I never actually talk to. Once you get into actually having these Facebook events, you know, you're never actually meeting these people in these other states. You're just talking to them through Facebook. And so, you know, you're doing your hostess coaching instead of through text, you're doing it through Facebook Messenger. Same thing. It's just a different way of doing the same thing. But if she's not commenting on your posts, her friends aren't going to comment on your posts. So the more she comments, the more her friends are going to comment. So if you stress the pre-sales and stress the commenting, then she's going to do those 2 things because she thinks it's just what she's supposed to do. So set up your event 1 week prior to the live event. And what you're going to do is there are 6 steps to setting up the event. Add a photo to your event. You need a banner. You need to add an event start date. Add a closing date. Make sure you do a closing date. Some people they don't put an end date. They just do the date of the party. But it is really to your benefit to put the closing date, the date that you're actually going to close the show, as the end date. because that way people know that they have, if you held that show on a Tuesday, they know they have until, say, Friday to watch the video, because it says the show is from March 12th through March 15th, or whatever those dates would be, instead of just saying March 12th. Because if you only say the event date and they missed that date, it's going to go into their past events. They might not know to look in their past events for it. So if you give it an end date, which is several days later, it's going to stay in their current events. Okay? Make sure you add a description, including her name. So don't just copy and paste the exact same thing. Make sure you say her name, and make sure you put the day that you're closing. Repeat it there. Add an introductory video of yourself. That is so important. That is really scary to do when you first start doing that, but it will get easier. I personally don't like the YouTube video where it's the exact same video for every single show. I like the personalized video for each and every Facebook Live event. My videos are like 1 minute long. I literally, on a day that I feel good, will do 6 shows, one after the other. Because none of them are related to each other, right? Like, it's not the same people, so they don't know that I'm wearing the exact same thing, right? I mean, they're not the same group, so it doesn't matter. And I will just record them one after the other because it's a day that I feel happy or whatever. And so I'll just record them back to back to back to back to back, and then post them when I create the events, because it doesn't matter when you actually post them. And so I have it personalized. So I say, I'm so excited about Susie's show next Thursday. Now, I could be recording it 2 weeks ahead. That's fine. It doesn't say the date you recorded it on it when you post it. It just says when you post it. So I just say, I'm so excited about Susie's party next Thursday. And I make sure and say, if you can't join us live, that's okay. We're not closing until Friday or whatever your dates are. I make sure and tell them about Premier's Guarantee. I'm going to get some things out of the way so we don't have to do it during the live portion of the show. I introduce myself, tell them how long I've been doing Premier, and try and get everything I can out of the way so that I don't have to do it during the live portion of the show. And then you're going to add your hostess as a co-hostess. And then, really important, go to your desktop, because all that you can do on your phone. And you can do it through that events app that we talked about at the very beginning. But what you can't do on your cell phone is the last step, which is hide the guest list. I don't know why you can't do it on a cell phone, but you can only do it from the desktop. But if you will get it all created and then go to your desktop and hide the guest list, the reason you want to do that is because I do not agree with the advice that she should be limited in the amount of people she invites. I don't agree with that. If she wants to invite 300 people, let her invite 300 people. But hide the guest list. If you hide the guest list, only you and her, is it her or she? Her? She? I don't know what's the proper. She? Okay, only you and she can see. Don't want any grammar Nazis getting me. Only you and she can see how many she actually invited. So if she wants to invite 300 or she wants to invite 30, who cares? So I don't really agree with the 30 thing. As long as it's hidden, who cares? You stand more chance of getting a lot of people to watch. The more she invites, the better chance you have. So that's just my personal opinion, and I'm doing the training. So, that's how it works. So as soon as you've done that, message your hostess, let her know it's been set up. All she needs to do is add in her guest list and remind her it's time to start commenting on your posts. And I will tell you, the thing that shocks me most is I wait on every single show for somebody to say, oh, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. You know, I just keep waiting. And they're all like, okay, great, I'll do that today. Or I'll do it when I get home from work, you know, or whatever, because it's so simple. You've already done everything. So wait until after you've set it up. Everything's done. And then you contact them. Because all they have to do is plug in their friends. And so it's super easy. Why would they cancel? Super easy. So anyway, so your first posts on days 1 through 6, your posts are really going to be showing jewelry, things to generate comments, get customer involvement. You know, close to the day of the event, I like to post something with her favorite piece. I always ask her, tell me your favorite piece that's close to $50 retail. And I make up a little pic collage picture that says, she is guaranteed, you know, Susie Hostess is guaranteed to get this piece free when 3 of you schedule your own Facebook Live event. So raise your hand to reserve your date. And then it has the picture of it, which I just get from Premier's Gallery, Media Gallery, or I get from Pinterest, or sometimes Google, if I can't find it, you know, on one of those 2 places. And then underneath that, I have our hostess plan. Our hostesses earn 30% of their sales in free jewelry, up to 8 items at half price, you know, whatever. It shows the hostess plan. So I have had plenty of shows where somebody says, I'll have a party, you know, before the show even starts, which is great. I love that. So they just want to help their friend. A great hostess who you've already coached and you've told her, comment on every single thing. Comment, tag your friends, tag your friends, tag your friends. A great hostess is going to tag her friends as soon as you post that. She is going to start tagging people. She's going to name them. They're going to see that post and they're going to volunteer. They're going to want to be the friend that helped her. And you're going to get bookings before you even do the live presentation. But I don't do that one until a couple days before. It's not one of the first things I post because I want them to have seen cute things first, right? Things that generate their interest. Depending on the hostess, and I just kind of wait and see what kind of comments we're getting, how involved her friends are. If they're really involved in commenting, I do post a picture of the hostess that I just grabbed from her Facebook page because we are friends. I friend requested her, and they have all accepted my friend request so far, since they are having a show with me. And I grab a picture off of her Facebook page that I thought was cute and that I don't think she'll mind me using. And I ask for compliments on the hostess. And I say, you know, let's show her the love. Tell me something you love about the hostess. If it's a show that I'm not getting a lot of comments from her friends, I'm not going to do that because I don't want there to be no comments when I've asked for compliments on the hostess. So if she's commenting on everything but her friends aren't, don't post that one. Okay? Because you don't want to hurt her feelings that nobody compliments her. So that one, be smart about it. Only use it if it's an involved group. So I know you've seen it out there, but just use it when it's a really involved group. And then the day before, make sure you do a reminder photo. And the day of the event, do a photo of some kind, reminding them that today is the day. Ask the hostess to share the event on her personal page. That will pick up several guests. Ask her to share it on her personal page and asking her friends if they want to be included to just comment, and then she can add them to her event invitation. And then I post an hour before we're going live in 1 hour. And that's it. I mean, it'll say simply, we go live in 1 hour. And then I go live. So that's the day of the event. So I thought you guys might have a question on what jewelry I typically show. So I pull the 2 trays that I typically show, I'm going to pass around. And for you guys watching the video, I will take a picture of the 2 trays and post it. Because those are the 2 trays that I typically show. I typically show about 14 necklaces, only 1 pair of earrings, and maybe 1 or 2 bracelets. That's mostly necklaces. The reason for that is twofold. 1, that's our high retail item. That's the moneymaker. And 2, that's where our versatility is. Our necklaces do tricks. So if you want to show real value of the jewelry, you're going to show necklaces. Earrings, they can see a picture of in the catalog. A bracelet, they can see a picture of in the catalog. But necklaces, they need to see. All right, they need to see it. They need to see what you do with it. Keep your shows short. They should only be about 25 minutes long. No longer than 30. You cannot keep anybody's attention span on a video for longer than that. You know, you're already, especially on a weeknight, they're tired, they've come in from work, you're asking them to sit down on their computer in their pajamas to watch a video, and then you want to go for an hour? No way. You're not going to keep their attention. So keep it short. Short, sweet, to the point. So, be prepared for some common Facebook glitches. The #1 most common Facebook glitch, you cannot see their comments. Happens all the time. So in an ideal world, what I mean by that, if you haven't had a Facebook Live show yet, usually you can see their comments across the bottom of your phone. And that's great because that's where the interaction comes in. You can actually have a conversation with them. And I had a conversation with a lady. I did a show last week, and at the beginning of the show, you're usually waiting for people to join you. And while you're kind of wasting time waiting for people to come online. And there was one lady on the event, and I was just kind of talking to her. She was the hostess's aunt, and I was talking to her, and she was from somewhere in Illinois, and the hostess was, I think, from Oregon. And anyway, her daughter lives like around the corner from me. Crazy small world. Because I was like, oh, I'm from a small town outside of Houston. You won't have heard of it. And she said, where? And this is, of course, all across the bottom of my phone screen. And I said, Tomball. And she said, oh, I've heard of Tomball. And I'm like, really? And she said, yeah, my daughter lives in Houston. And her daughter lives around the corner. And that lady proceeded to order $300 worth of jewelry over a Facebook Live show. Mm-hmm. So it's great when the comments work. Because you can really build a relationship. You can sit and talk to somebody, you know, just like a home show. You can really sit and have a conversation with somebody. It's not so great when the comments don't work because it's just you. but there's nothing you can do. It's not your phone. You can't, I've tried stopping and restarting. They don't come back. It's just Facebook. It's a well-known glitch. All you can do is address it. So as soon as you go live, which when you go live, it does a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. So, and then there's a little bit of a delay. You are, they're about 5 to 7 seconds behind you. So you ask, you know, you have to just kind of start with some small talk, introduce yourself again, and there'll be a little eyeball icon. You can see that there's people there, and there'll be a number next to it. So you'll see that there's 1 person there, or 3 people there, or 5 people there. You'll know how many people are actually watching. And so you can say, okay, I see 2 people are there. Can you please comment so that I can see if I can read your comments tonight? And just tell them up front, if I can't see your comments, just know it's a common Facebook glitch. Just address it right up front. And then if you see them, go, great, I can read your comments. Hi, Katie, or whoever just said, I'm Katie, you know. And then if you can't, go, bummer, you know, and move on. You might also have what happened to me last night. 801, 802, 803, 804, 805. Nobody was there. I started with no one. That was a bummer. So I just had to start the show, right? I mean, at a certain point, you got to go. I mean, you just got to do the show because you've posted that it's going to be closed on Friday, so they know they can watch any time between, in that case, Monday and Friday. So I just started showing jewelry. My hostess came on at 8:18. Her sister came on at 8:22. My shows are over at 8:25. So, you know, they all watched it after. But fortunately, she had $250 in pre-sales. As soon as she was off, she tagged all her friends that were supposed to be watching. One lady immediately Facebook messaged me with a $100 order. So it was immediately at $350. And then another lady is supposed to contact me tonight with an order. And we're not closing till Friday. So, you know, it's already it's already hit my average, and we don't close till Friday. So don't freak out. I mean, the only thing you can do is just go with the flow. Just know it can happen. It was just me and the camera, and it was fine, you know. Totally wasn't nervous because there was nobody there. You know, it didn't matter. So just know that it can happen. There's just all kinds of weird things. I did have another Facebook glitch one day. I had a super bright white light all of a sudden come on, and it was really kind of weird, but I told somebody it was like God himself joined my Facebook Live show because it was this crazy white light, and all of a sudden I was like an outline, like all you could see was an outline of me. And fortunately it was a show that I could see their comments because I asked them, is that on y'all's end or just mine? And they said, we can't see you anymore. And so, you know, I really didn't know what to do because how can they see the jewelry? You know, they can't even see me. So I said, okay, I'm going to stop recording and restart and hope that it works again. And I said, don't go anywhere. And so I stopped and I restarted, and it was just fine. So, you know, you've got to just go with it. So just know there are things that are going to happen, and you've just got to keep your cool and act like things happen. You know, it's live TV, so to speak. And, you know, things are going to happen. So just be prepared and just go with it. So don't freak out. And I think that that's going to come from practicing before you do the first one. So if I can recommend anything, it's practice. Practice before you do the first one. Do not try and do the first one live. I really don't recommend that. Actually, practice. Set up a fake one and do that. Anyway, so be prepared for common Facebook glitches. So you have the day of the event, you have gone live, and then as soon as you finish with your live presentation, you are going to post a thank you and how to pay. You've got to tell them, how do you pay? Because guess what? As of now, you can't pay on our website, right? So hopefully that's going to change soon. I'm hoping as of National Rally, fingers crossed. But as of right now, you can't pay through our website. If you use ProPay for your credit cards, you can invoice them through ProPay. If you use another credit card system, you can probably invoice through that credit card system. I use ProPay, so that's what I invoice them through. And I tell them that all they need to do is send me a PM through Facebook, or they can comment. Some people just comment their order with their order and their email. All right, and if they'll send that to me, I will send them an invoice. And that's all I need. All right, and then depending on the show, sometimes I offer a gift. I'll post a little picture and offer them a gift for the first 2 people that place an order. Especially if she doesn't have her pre-sales, I want some activity happening. But if people are very quick to start ordering, you don't need to do that. So that's something to have in your bag of tricks. Offer that gift. What do you offer? Something like those little cross string bracelets from Premier Incentives. Very inexpensive, very lightweight to mail, and everybody loves them. So that's a great thing to do. They don't have to see the gift. They don't know what it is. Just offer a gift, free gift to the first 2 people that place an order tonight. And it's amazing how fast they'll place an order once you post that, because they want a gift. They don't even know what it is. And then I also post a little thank you picture with a name for every single person that places an order. As they order, I post a picture, that says, thank you for your order, Susie Q. Thank you for your order, Betty Jean. Thank you for your order, whatever. And just say their name. And that way they're getting some recognition for placing an order. And then over the next 2 days, I continue to post thank yous for purchases. I post encouragement to help the hostess with orders and bookings. So that's going to be things like help our hostess, help her meet her goals, any kind of cute pictures you've seen out there to help the hostess. Remind your hostess personally where she's at, where she needs to be. Encourage her to tag her friends who attended and haven't ordered yet. Get her involved. Don't let her just sit back and do nothing. Make sure she's tagging the people who attended but haven't ordered. Get her involved. And then make sure you post a final call for order, some final call to action before you actually close out the show. There is a Facebook group out there called Facebook Parties? Premier Facebook Parties. It's a closed group, but you just have to be a jeweler. Just ask to be Premier Facebook Parties. And there's some great images on that group. So if you're looking for graphics to use on your Facebook Live events, that's a great group to be a part of. All right, and then when you close out the party, you've kind of got 2 choices. You're either going to ship it to the hostess or have it shipped to you. Now, why would you ship it to you? Obviously, on your home shows, you're not used to having it shipped to you. But on some of your Facebook Live events, you're going to have no choice but to have it shipped to you, because she may live in one state but have her customers from 5 or 6 other states because it's over Facebook. It wasn't at her house. And if all her customers were from a bunch of other states, it needs to come to you. And you need to ship it out for her. And actually, that's okay, because then you get to mail with it the letter I gave you. And that's the letter that gives you an opportunity to tell them what the hostess got in free jewelry, gives you an opportunity to tell them what you make as a jewelry lady, or whatever you call yourself these days, accessory stylist or whatever. I mail it with her receipt, a style guide, my business card, that letter printed on bright paper, and I mail it in a bright pink plastic envelope that I also got on Amazon. They were like 100 envelopes for $11.99 on Amazon. They're just plastic mailer envelopes, but it stands out in the mail because it's pink. You don't have to use pink. I just picked pink, you know, because it matched my bright pink paper. If you ship it to the hostess, make sure you mail her the customer receipts. They need a receipt. It's actually required by the Direct Sales Association. They need that pink receipt. It has information on the back that's printed on the back for a reason. That's required by the DSA. So make sure she gets that. If you offered the gift for the first 2 people, make sure you staple it to their receipt. That's why those little string bracelets are great. They're flat. So they will mail just folded in her thank you note flat. And then I mail every hostess, just like I do a home show, a polishing cloth with my business card tucked in the little bag. And I do mail her a hostess gold card, just like I do a home show, which gives her a discount for a year. Because most of these hostesses are getting bookings. Their friends are booking shows. And so I want them to get a discount on the shows because they're now placing pre-sales on all the shows that booked from their show. And a lot of my hostesses are placing $100 pre-sales on shows that booked from their show because they get a 20% discount. That's what I choose to give them. And a hostess gold card is just a business card that's gold. You can make them at Vistaprint or wherever, and it just gives them 20% off for a year. Mine gives them 50% off when it's their birthday. But they have to remember. I don't write it down. They have to remember and call me. And then after their jewelry is received, you get a shipment notice from Premier, right? You get an email that says their jewelry has been shipped. So after they've received the jewelry, either you've shipped it or Premier has shipped it to the hostess, because one of 2 things has happened. I post a thank you for attending, and I post a business opportunity post. I post the little bit about how Premier works, that little 1 post blip about we make 50%, you know, 10, 10, 10. It's the same image that you guys have all seen out there on Facebook. It's just 1 little post. All right, so because I want the customers to see that. I didn't post it during the event because I only had 6 days. I want to focus on bookings and sales. But after the event, once they've gotten their jewelry, maybe people are wondering, I wonder if she makes any money doing that. I like this jewelry. Maybe they've gotten that letter. Maybe they're kind of curious. So that's going to be the final thing I post. And that's it. So bye guys. I'm going to open it up for questions here, and I'll be posting this soon.